Hello, this is Friendly Cat, and I have a grand adventure for you today. We'll be playing Fascist Ethiopia on non-historical focuses. This is a very long run, so I'll be doing it in episodes. This is episode 1. I have completed the entire run, and I plan to release each episode every few days or so. Fascist Ethiopia is a very challenging run. This is not an achievement run, so we have no particular objectives, just try to carve out as much as we can to eventually live in peace when all of the world has finally come to peace. Just maybe fish on the Nile, try to have a little piece of Africa for ourselves. We're probably going to be a puppet of Italy, at least for a while. We may have to help the allies. Maybe we'll have to just try to help Germany do the best it can. We might have just tag along with Russia or Japan, because this is ahistorical focuses, so anything could happen, and we just aren't very strong, so we'll do what we can. Well, as this game starts to play out, one thing you'll notice is we're not getting a lot of pressure from Italy from the south. While I've had a few practice runs, I can tell you when you don't get pressure from Italy to the south, that means Italy is likely headed down toward its own civil war. It does not want to, I think, complete two of its missions, I think to capture the south and capture the north, so that it can proceed toward its own civil war. So if you think, oh cool, they're just not attacking me too much, I guess Mussolini's just taking it easy. Well, no, that means that we have a civil war coming. That means we need to race. We really want to hold the northern port when we finally declare for Italy. So we are very much, I'd say, on the clock. We want to move along. In addition, because Italy is not pushing hard, they won't take a lot of losses, and we've got to juggle and we've got to, make something happen. Normally we can just sit back behind our lines and let them smash into us, but not on this type of run, this ahistorical focus run where Italy will go civil war and they're going to go soft on their attacks. So we'll have to bounce into them, bounce out of them, but we'll still make it happen. Our opening is still very much the same. We'll take the first focus to get the academy. We're also going to disband all of our units and replace them with Chet Safari, and that way we have a very good, strong defense, and allows us to have the best chance of taking that northern port. If we can't get it, so be it, but we'll just do the best that we can. And one of the first important decisions is, of course, after we complete the academy, is taking the top option. That gives us a 10% infantry attack, which is pretty nice. It's also 10% irregular infantry, which helps the Chet Safari. We'll start bouncing the balance of power to the left. We need to move at 15 points, and the first 5 points can be done by recalling one of our generals from retirement. So that's 5 points to the left. We need 10 more points so that we can eventually click a 5% research bonus for the rest of the game. This gives us a bonus unit, which is not too bad. First encirclement of the game. We got this. Easy kill. Okay, maybe not so much. Yeah, they're so close to the port, and they really haven't been pushing hard against us, so maybe we won't be able to get this encirclement off. They just haven't taken a lot of losses yet so far, but we'll try it. We'll try to get it. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's trying to pin us. Oh, we get a random event, which pushes the balance of power another 5 to the left. This is a good event. I wouldn't mind taking a military factory, but we'll take another +5. Because between this +5, this gives us 5 points closer to taking that research slot. We can now take support local road development, which is 5 more points to the left. And after we click that one, it will open up the last balance of power decision, the one we really want, which is a +5% research for the rest of the game. We've got a long game coming, so we'd like that 5 research. And then we'll click to activate it when it's time, because we need to move that balance of power to the right. This is the first real encirclement of the game. I like to highlight it because we really have to make things happen here with very passive or relatively passive Italy attacking us. We're going to have to encircle and chip away at those divisions to just give us the best chance we have of eventually getting to that northern port. And with a little bit of fighting, we're able to take him out. And now that we have enough political power, we will now increase the power of the mecha want, I think. In other words, we want to move the balance of power hard to the right. Eventually, we want to get it all the way to the right, but we certainly need to move it along. As we continue down the focus tree, we will be heading toward our 3rd research slot. We are so research starved. We're going to get there as fast as we can. And hopefully, that 3rd research slot will just help things out just a little bit more. We're also keeping an eye on the Italian focus tree, yep, sure enough, they're heading left. They definitely want this fiasco to end in a civil war, and they are going to get a fiasco, all right. But we just need to watch their focus tree. We're also taking tech that seems a little bit odd, but I can eventually license from Italy when I become their puppet, so I'm trying to avoid licensing techs. I also need to be watching that focus tree because I need to hit my civil war the same time they hit their civil war. After I take the third research slot, we're going to be heading down toward our civil war. Italy can hit their civil war, I think, as early as the middle of December, so I need to time it. If I go early, I'll become Mussolini's puppet, and we're likely to lose out in their civil war. As we take the opportunity for change, the top option gives us core attack, which we don't really need. The bottom option gives us faster justification, which we don't really need. But the middle guy gives us increased equipment recovery, like a scavenger bonus. Oh, we like that. We like that very much. We're continuing to push north here in October. I think I've got a good chance of pushing forward and actually taking that port. It's been really tough. I've had to really make things happen, but I think we're on our way. We're continuing to move around, and that's it. With that airport, we've got it. Italy's strength is really in the air. It may not really make sense when you're fighting it, but once you take the airport, suddenly the whole Italian army kind of crumbles to pieces because they can no longer cast you down. And we're also going to take the southern southern port, because we'd like to kind of distract our enemies in our upcoming civil war by being able to hold a southern area. And just like that, we've got the northern port in the middle of November. That's very good, very fast. I'm very happy with that, because this makes us ensure that we can do lend-lease during the civil war from countries that have nations or ports. Okay, we're watching Italy take their focuses. Very important. If we go early, like I said, we'll be Mussolini's puppet and likely lose out because Mussolini will lose to his Italian democratic enemies. But if we go late, we're going to be actually locked out from being Fascist Italy. So we want to time our focus the same as their focus. And since Italy has now taken a 70-day focus, we will take a 70-day focus because I don't really need that Shawa to develop Shawa right now, my capital, but I'm just holding out so that when Italy starts their 35-day civil war focus, I will start the last of my 35-day civil war focuses, so we hit our civil war focuses at the same time. And while we're at it, let's just crush Italians. Oh, a naval invasions. So clever. Nice job, Italy, but I have a little bit of experience dealing with these, and so we'll just kill them off. I don't know if we really should be destroying all these Italian troops. Maybe they'll help us in the future, but whatever. I also do not want that bottom port, because when the Civil War comes, I do not want the province, so I hope this isn't an exploit. I'm not trying to exploit by just killing these divisions, these Italian divisions. I just don't want the port, but I also don't want the Italian division, so we're not going to take it. Alright, develop Shaw was done. Let's see, what is Italy going to take now? What's their next focus tree? Defy the Dulce? Okay, that means they're ready for their civil war. That means I need to take my own declare for Italy so that our focuses end at the same time. It seems I'm overemphasizing this concept. Nope, it's just really important. Well, this just about wraps it up for the first episode. We're getting ready for the Civil War. I've got some troops stationed down by the southern port. I've got some by the northern area, because when the Civil War breaks, we're going to get cut in half. And I'd like to have a few divisions down by the southern port to hold the port and distract my Civil War enemies. But I also want a lot of divisions to spawn on the top, and I do not want that most southern port or most southern state, because I think that affects how many states I actually get. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and the second episode will be coming up pretty soon. Thank you very much.